A number of successful business owners began their journey when they were young, climbing up the ladder of success with hard work, determination, and passion. Angeles City's own mogul, Mr. Dennis Anthony Uy, who started as an all-around helper at his uncle's retail store, now owns one of the biggest telecommunications service providers in the Philippines, Converge ICT Solutions. While he is often confused with Davao City's Dennis Uy, Pampanga's one and only Dennis Uy has made a name for himself by achieving something where giants like PLDT failed. Dennis Anthony Uy is an established businessman from Angeles City. Through his perseverance and the guidance of his uncle Johnny, he was able to venture in different businesses like retail stores, fruit juices, pay TV system, and telecommunications. Uy is a renowned business leader not only in Pampanga, but also in the entire Philippines. He remained grounded despite his success. Before he founded Converge ICT Solutions, Uy has already been an active member of the community by reaching out to our less fortunate kababayans. In 2006, he helped in raising funds for the typhoon victims in Bicol. He's also active in distributing school supplies to underprivileged Filipino students through his company's Shoebags Gift Giving Day, donating money for the improvement of health facilities in his hometown, as well as for the victims of Taal eruption in 2020. Uy also acknowledges the importance of frontliners during this COVID-19 pandemic. Because of this, he donated thousands of personal protective equipment to frontliners inside and outside Pampanga to keep them safe as they combat the health crisis. Dennis Anthony Uy is not only building a business empire, he is also instrumental in building the community. Let's meet the man of the hour right now in Biz Buzz. Hello, sir. Sir
Hello.
Dennis, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you po.
I read your story. You migrated from China to the Philippines when you were young, only at the tender age of 11. Why did you move out of China to go to the Philippines?
One day, my dad and my mom said it's better we plan to move to Philippines because my uncle Johnny then is already here. They've been here so long. And my grandpa also died in Philippines. No? We have actually, if you're talking with the generation wise, early Japanese war, my grandpa was already here. No? So he died in, actually still in the Chinese cemetery in Manila. So I visit them once in every Chinese Ocean's Day. No? So we moved, decided to move here because of Uncle Johnny petitioned us to move out in the hardship in China. So when we come here, I'm not no right at all because you just only Chinese language. You don't know about, you don't know about speak Tagalog, English at all, right? I still remember the wife is the principal of Santo Rosario Elementary School. So when I get in, they asked me to join with that school. So when I'm in grade 1, imagine in grade 5 in China, I was 11. So grade 1, all my classmates, they are only, how old? 6, 7 years old. So,
yeah, kayong pinakamalaki. Oo.
Yes. And in terms of mathematics, I'm advanced. So that's the reason they put me there, just learn Tagalog, all these things, learning from scratch.
Yes.
So, in spite of that, the following year, they moved me to Holy Family. And I finished my grade school in 3 years. After Holy Family, I went to Sivadia School. So I finished the whole high school in Sivadia. So, and while we are studying, we need to help my uncle to clean up the grocery store. During the night, in fact, I sleep in the cashier counter. So I just remove all the cardboards.
Yes.
And I'm the watchman, no? So take care of my cousin coming home the early morning. I need to open the door. I do all these things. And At a young of age, I interested doing a lot of like maintenance works, like electrical,
Yeah, nabasa ko nga eh. Oo.
ting ha. So, you
Mahilig
know,
kayo sa ano, sa
yeah.
pagre-repair.
Yes. So I during that high school days, early dismissal of schools, I took some opportunity when night time, like 5, 6 o'clock. I enrolled Lorraine, that's we
Yeah.
have technical vocational course. I went to refrigeration, electrician, and electronic course. And all excess time, because this is a short-term courses. So I helping my uncle to have doing working freezer, maintenance, all the necessary electrical works, because they have a maintenance division there
Yes.
taking up the supermarket needs. So his passion and I think I know when I'm come from is really hardship is and come here to Philippines. We looking forward to have a better life, right? So that's stick to my mind already. There's not room for playing up, no waste in the opportunity and no waste time. Be focused, right? So what I did is focus studying and focus doing necessary things up to when we start with my brother, start with the videotapes, which is Jack's video
Yeah.
with his handle, right? So that's Saudi days. I still remember.
Yeah. I'm familiar with that. The Betamax and VHS store.
Yeah.
Doon kami
So-
nagre-rent eh.
Yeah. I have two sisters, Eileen and Dr. Amini.
Yes.
So, and then Jack, Alan, and me. No? So we are five. So we sometimes if cashier is not available, we make cashiering. My brother Jack managing the other branch like Miranda, Santo Rosario. So my mom helping do some siopaw, whatever thing to sell it to the canteens. So they introduce a lot of Chinese favor of for canteen sellings. No? So and my dad also helping with Miranda branch, and I'm assigned Balibago branch to take care. Sometimes we knock off driver, we drive the truck all the way to cargo all these groceries and to another branch.
Yeah.
So we everything where I need to fit to help. We that's our job before. Yeah.
Oo. You said something in the biography that you are not what you are today if it weren't for your Uncle Johnny.
That's
Can you
true.
tell us about Uncle Johnny? Who is Uncle Johnny to you? And what influence did Uncle Johnny make insofar as your life and your career as a businessman is concerned?
You can see my uncle when he came here early in the 1940s, no, early days. This is also like the same my age, you know. So imagine when my uncle, when he developed because he went successful when this Vietnam War, right? So all these military bases before is supplying a lot of necessary commissary to them, no? Especially, and that's why Janice is very popular before. That's early days. Everybody knows that they have branches. He's a businessman, quite hard working, and in fact, his heart is quite good, helping a lot of people. I know, that's I learned. Anybody approach him any in other way with what he can extend, not just only pure business. He can help necessary people, anyone. That's why you can see during the time, I still remember, all these polices go there, they're free, Miranda, no. As long as you in uniform, you go there, you have coke, you have sandwich, that's provided by Uncle Johnny. Even the check, I still remember, teachers or police, they want to change the check there.
Yes.
So you can change immediately. You don't need to go to bank, no? So all these extended services to the government workers, and you can see he's a civic leader mind. He helping a lot. He's joined the JCs, Rotary, all this civic function, and contribute in terms of employment and economic development in the city.
Mhm.
So all things you can see in the whole history, everyone knows him. When that, no, if you from really Nangares, Tatanjani, everyone should know him, right? So even the days of American-based persons, no, I still remember when he's playing the golf. I'm with him. I need to bring the bag to him inside the Clark. So he's a civic leader, businessman. So and he's a good heart, especially to the poor people.
So he must be your model, no? Parang siya yung
And
parang idolo nyo, modelo nyo.
yeah, in fact, and the way I look at him, because he bring me here, he give me a break, because without him, I'm not here in today. And he teach me how to proper handling all this hardship of this hardship to me during working with his grocery is a training. It's not just because kaya naman niya, you send me somewhere to school, but everything, but no, we have 25 centavos, we took the jeep every time go to school, all these things. So we pass all this hard to learn, and it's not just everything fall in the hand, no? So he teach me especially how to fish, not just eat fish on the table, right? So that's important is you need to feel how you need to pass this process to be able to success. This is part of the training ground.
So, Sir Dennis, mas close ka ba kay Uncle Johnny mo kaysa sa tatay mo?
Well, hindi naman like that, pero more in because of yun na nga achievement niya. I look at him because when my dad come here, we had the same came from the area, right? So I look at him as a good role model. Parang kaya ina-idolize yung bata ako. So, yung mga achievement niya nakikita ko. So, I'm one of these days ng bata ako, I'm porsige to able to achieve.
Yeah.
Yun ang
Importante talaga yun sa bata, di ba?
Yeah.
Sir Dennis, in the book, former Mayor Ed Pamintuan, one of your BFF, describes your character. Sabi niya, your character is a fusion of two countries, China and the Philippines. Did he make an accurate description of your character?
Yeah, because I think the character is trained is looking at grew up to the certain age in China, so I taste the hardship in China. So when I'm come to Philippines, and there's total different world, right? So I still keep that attitude that I have learned from hardship and passed through all these things. So that I think that's two definition Mayor mentioned. I think that's his meaning.
Would you say that you have acquired certain Kapampangan qualities?
Actually, Kapampangan culture is more you really good in entertain, diba? So you welcome all this, especially you have visitors. Yan ang na-acquire natin culture. Tapos yung pagkain natin masarap. Pag nag-entertain tayo, sige, at least masatisfy mo lang yung mga visitors mo. Usually yun ang culture nakita mo Kapampangan na-acquire. And in terms of food naman, Kapampangan food, everybody knows is one of the best in the country. So do you know I'm fluent Kapampangan than Tagalog?
Baka yan!
Because the first language that I learned is Kapampangan because
second language, no?
Yeah.
Biyasa kang magluto, mahilig na magluto.
Tuto, no. I know because when I'm more in technical, but cooking I'm not cook. I'm a good taster. I'm very good in criticize in terms of food. Yeah, because I have several restaurants too, right? So I bring few Chinese chef because one time I went back to China do some business. I think 95, 96. I set up a juice factory in China. So when I'm sold out that factory, I go back to Philippines again. One of my office managers, which is Peter Cheng, is a Fortune. You can see Fortune there. I bring to Philippines with the wife, Chinese wife. So finally, from there, early 96, 97, we grew all the Fortune branches throughout the Luzon area.
I am sure you visited China already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when was the first time you visited China after migrating to the Philippines? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think early 80s. It's still not that progress but they open up little by little. You can still remember when you go to China, you need to pass Hong Kong and you rode a train. You can see China before Shenzhen is so dirty. You listen train, the people, culture is different. You can saw trash all over. So now it's different because compare early 80s, 83. I went back there first time. After 5 years, after 5 years.
Yeah, what do you like about China now? Ngayong mapugreso na yung pinakamalaking ekonomiya na daw sa daigdig ang China.
Well, the good thing in China because the government is very decisive, right? They said this master plan, they will do this, they will do that. Political will is there, no? So imagine after early 80s, they open up in span of less than 25 years. You imagine from that hardship to turn around China, they built a massive infrastructure up to the rural areas and airports, everything. So this is road infrastructure. They bring countryside development, infrastructure, everything. So that's why when your infrastructure build, business activities come up. So the opportunity of these farmer people in China, these people, poor people before, because they have huge of land, so the property went up. So this follows. That's why you can see they are trying to make it 2025 zero what's called below property rate, and in fact their labor cost as of today is more expensive than in Philippines.
Yeah. And pag pinag-uusapan natin yung country of origin ninyo, China, at saka yung Pilipinas, lalo na yung Pampanga, would you say that when you think about home, you think about the Philippines more than you think about China?
I grew up here. I usually 11 up to now. May family rin ako dito. Or whatever investment I put here, return, everything is in Philippines. So, pwede sabihin, kaya na ako. Kaya na akong in the future, tumuwa hanggang miloko kim mundo, malakwang ng Pilipinas. That's and you can see Philippines compared to China. For Philippines, this is really, really lovable country. We are a very lucky country. In fact, we are a gifted country. Compared to China. You imagine Philippines in terms of geographical location, we are in the middle of Asia Pacific. If you have a right perspective and right approach with the leadership, and I think Philippines, we still have a long way to go. In fact, imagine everything is usually now the factor in the world is China past decade because of the cheap and faster manufacturing things. But if you're thinking now, Philippines is an option to become a booming country because this tension between America and China, and they put all this tariff together in the business. Where's the best location to invest all this factory, including high value product? It should be Philippines because number one, location wise, in terms of IT, in terms of communication, international gateway. If you think in the Singapore gateway going to US, they pass to our Philippine water. China go to US, they pass Philippine water. Hong Kong go to US, pass Philippine water because we are in the middle of Asia. So if you see China's South China Sea and Pacific Ocean, this is the gateway of of traffic functions of commerce goods, not only commerce goods, including information technology subsea cables. So which is we are focusing right now. I'm focusing right now. I'm going to build a subsea cable between Hong Kong to Singapore to put a note in possible in Subic or in La Union. That's I'm looking at to bring the information technology storage of Asia Pacific put in Philippines. That's the biggest perspective. And imagine what is advantage of Philippines. We are all English literate. That's our advantage. Yeah? And if you can put high value jobs, call center BPO is the biggest in the world, so with us. No? So the infrastructure, we need to put more infrastructure. You want to put, we have a lot of talents, especially in software side, especially in terms, we don't have quite industry focus. The reason why is this big industry going out to Philippines? Because one, our power is quite expensive.
Yes.
That's hitting us. But in terms of real estate, and I am pretty sure, I'm happy to tell you, Sonia, I'm going to put some investment in Porac soon to help our Kabalen to have a better opportunity of employment. No? So by next year, we have set up at least putting 200 to 300 million investment in Porac, a concrete pole manufacturing. The machine will, I think we are doing the construction right now, is in, because the source of raw materials is there already, and the finished product just deliver throughout the Philippines. Imagine Miraco alone, because Miraco is one of my partner in terms of power in Telco too. The concrete pole consumption they have is huge of quantity. All of this is imported from China. And why you need to import from China? That's too expensive, right? And you can imagine where's the best location to put this concrete factory plant. It should be in Porac. That's the same in hollow block, all these raw materials there. So that's why we decided to put one of the biggest factory in Porac. And aside from that, we are looking at putting some industrial zone. Pull out some investment from China to put this countertop, marble top, this about soil, our sand-related value-added product. To be export to Europe and US. Because now, if you're talking with these marble tiles or this ceramics manufactured in China, from tariff, they will charge more. So we're talking some big group right now to put at least 100 or 150 hectares of industrial zone in Porac coming years. So I'm on top of this special project for our Kabalans. So pretty sure in down the road, I think we easily to have a great employment to our kababayan, especially in Porac people.
Dakal kayo telakad negosyo, yaliwang negosyo. Pero kailan talaga yung, at ano yung negosyo na tinayo yung masasabing yung inyo?
My background is more in tech, right? So when I'm electrical, electronics, repairman, no? So when I start computer, this the Betamax and computer, and I went to networking and went to pay TV system. Now because pay TV went up already, it's the internet days came. I came up with prepaid internet dial-up. And then we have cable modem. Now it's fiber optic. So you can see the whole track of my record is focused on this tech side. So build the cloud, now it's futures cloud, data center, IPTV, still follow. Because if you stop pursuing the technology, you end up, you cannot compete at all. Right? So technology is like a fashion. A fashion of the clothes. Because they said that in the time, hindi yan uso yan. So you need to change, right? So this is keeping updating and keeping technology development for easy, convenient, and and even the models, even the platform, they will change every now and then.
Yeah. So you do not stop learning, di ba?
Yeah, because when you're there already, imagine, I'm learning all this from international. In fact, I never miss my society cable engineer show in these conferences in America. In the early days, like the Rogers, the Canadian, one of the founder Canadian cable company, this Comcast in US, all of this, they are kasabayan ko ng halos yan sa nag-start ng cable TV. Early 90s, that's the industry we started. So when have every year conferences, and we meet each other every year. So in America or in worldwide conferences, so we got close each other. In fact, this is the way I learn the best practices of the technology and whatever the capability of our consumer can able to afford or not. And this is involved of the entrepreneurship now. Technology is there, right? You can get technology as long as you have money, but in terms of blend with the entrepreneur, not just technology, use and expensive technology, who can afford, right?
Yeah.
So you need to blend, no? So I'm looking always, we behind 2 to 3 years back to other country, but we cannot have the newest technology put in our country because the market segment in the Philippines is totally different.
Yeah, so yung benchmarking, no? Talagang tuloy-tuloy yung benchmarking niya.
Yeah, that's very important. You cannot compare Japan. Japan, everyone had fiber at home. Fiber, in Philippines, how many percent of total homes you have penetrated? It's just you can have a biggest market, you can have only 30%. Because they cannot afford. No? These people like TNT market, they only afford prepaid. So you need to quantify. Our business model here compared to other countries total unique. So that's why you need come in. You need to adjust.
I'm interested to find out because I read na where you nearly lost everything.
Yes.
I cannot imagine you failing or losing at anything. Can you tell us this story? I am so curious to find out. Ano ba itong fruit juice purely business na untik na kayong ano?
Yeah, that's true. Butik na kami nag-away na talaga.
Ano ba ito? What is this?
When I get back from China, so I set up a fruit juice in China. You know, when the Sankis, the that's owned by Lau family in KLT. So turn out the daughter is my friend, common friend. Finally, they decided to move to China to set up a factory. So I was part of this business in China. So we finally sell out to the big companies. So when I get back to Philippines, I'm already in Clark. I set up a Clark network and technology, which is going to set up for the dial-up days or these things with the cable TV moving the Clark. I saw a motor pool in Clark. You can see the Luentay in front of Luentay. There's a factory at the back. I trying to duplicate because I learned this technology already in China. You know the Melda Marcos San Carlos tomatoes space plant in San Carlos, Pangasinan. That's KKK. So that's one is failed, not successful. So I wrote a letter to Land Bank or to Agriculture when I bought all this scrap. That's totally scrap equipment. We rehabilitate it. Actually, the whole plant is assembled from conveyor up to the finished product. We set up the whole plant inside Clark for mango puree. And that time, this mango, one of the owner of Fontana is Romintan, is #1 exporter of puree, fruits, mango fruits. So the supply is from all the way in northern Luzon up to Zambales area. This is the mango area. But the problem is sometimes this is a agriculture business. They say good harvest, sometimes no harvest, right? In the good harvest, they want fresh fruit usually to export. Most value is higher, right? So when you buy a good quality mango and you process it and become a puree, is high value, right? But our mango is one unique in the world because our mango is the aroma is natural compared to other mango in the country. It's like more fiber, right? The Indian mango, whatever, they totally, even Bangkok Island mango, they do not smell, but they have sweet. It's too sweet, right? So the smell of our aroma is totally different. Mostly the rejects, that's the process in the plant. No? So when I started, I rehabilitated that plant. I successful because I get all these Filipino engineer with setup of the plant in China. So we set up everything. So the shortage of mangoes because there's a season. Before mango is only one season, unlike now you can do two seasons now because of they putting some technology on it. So the volume is not consistent of supply. So you have the whole plant, you need to play. So what I'm going to process. So I finally decided to ask my friend to Cebu. There's a Pro Foods owned by Justin Uy. He's the biggest mango exporter. In fact, they won now in Pulilan. I said, I will give up this plant. We set up, we practice it, and we turn everything run. So it take it over. So in the whole plant, I sell it after the rehabilitation. Sell it to Pro Foods. And then carbonize, bring some to Indonesia, bring some to Cebu, so they separate it. I losing a lot of money there, but that's a lesson to learn. And I think this after you need to recover immediately. I said this is not my industry. My industry should be I go back to dial-up broadband, be focused what you expert. And this industry is depend on the nature. What harvest you have is very hard. No? So I surrendered. And in fact, I lost all my savings during that time. That's huge. That's close to 100 plus million. Yeah. So finally, I'm focused in what I'm doing. So this is I said, from now on, I understand what I mistake. I need to move on. Focus on where you are expert.
Yes. And in your biography, you said that in business, if you are too greedy and maximize everything all at once, you will melt. What did you mean exactly by that? Pakipaliwanag nga po ninyo sa ating mga tagapanood. Anong ibig sabihin?
Ang business kasi, hindi naman, in my case, no, especially technology, ever since is my passion. What I'm doing right now, because I can implement the new technology, I'm enjoying what I'm doing, no, with certain margin is fine, but huge margin and get from consumer, and it's not, sabi ko, it's, if you can give some better service, better price, so more people can get and subscribe to your services, is better. I'm talking about in terms of if example you can pricing because you're doing a competition, you can pricing 2,000 to 3,000 pesos, but your cost is only like few hundred pesos. End of the day, that's greedy, right? So you need to understand the sentiment of the consumer also. So you need our special business is really heavily capex. You need to return to the investment too, but it's not too much, and you know how to return back to.
Yes.
That's my principle.
Perhaps at this point in time, because we're about to say goodbye to our television audience and our followers in social media, ano po talaga ang sikreto para malampasan natin yung adversity ng pandemic na naranasan namin ngayon? I know that yung inyong negosyo hindi talaga katulad ng ibang negosyo na naapektuhan ng pandemic. In fact, ang demand for Converge, for example,
500 times.
Yeah, lumaki ng todo, hindi ba? Lumaki ng todo. In fact, I do not know how you keep up with the demand, but you are
Yes.
able to expand, you keep up with the demand. Paano tayo magsusurvive? Because this is a pandemic.
Wag baliwalaan tong COVID na to. No? It's very important. You need to make sure you follow the standard of protocols. No? Because whether like or not, if you not fight on this, you can just we depress. So you should make sure the mask is very important. There's face shield, social distancings, avoid parties unnecessary. So all these things, and you know, I just only starting this year, our company invests 6 PCR optical antigen testing to our all employees. Even my office, someone to visit me, they have PCR in 15 minutes, you can get the result. So we need to contribute to share to community to able to sabay-sabay natin labanan to. Because if you don't have responsibility, you're just thinking granted and you just go everywhere. Even protocol you not follow, that's dangerous. So be responsible, that's very important. If you feel something not unusual, you better keep yourself isolated. Don't spread to anyone. So this, if all of us the same that kind of thinking, I think we have a proper, better place to stay together, right? So that should be and vaccine. Hopefully, in fact, we ordered 20,000 of vaccines trials. And Moderna, we have, with Vicky Rason, I just have talked to him 2 days ago. We committed to put another 10,000. So all my employees and extended family, I trying to provide them all this vaccine free of charge. And hopefully this come by May. And I don't know this how this go further the problem, but as long as we have a vaccine, at least we have immediately address this problem first. But the development of these viruses at how develop on the future, we don't know. Also, no one can tell, right? So, but prevention is very important. Imagine nowadays, I could not believe how this could go this fast. The chairman of MMDA is very close to me. Just recently, you can notice, right? So, Christmas, I talked to him. 27, he went to, in fact, he's going to check out already in hospital because he's COVID-free. But suddenly his heart attack because of COVID make his heart weaker.
Yes.
So, this should be, sana sabi ko, with everything, we have this precaution and this proper social distancing, contact tracing. We have to involve a lot of technologies things, no? Especially you can see Taiwan, they quite disciplined. Imagine there's very few. Vietnam better than us, right? Even Korea. But when they split, they come up with a solution and to address immediately. That should be work hand in hand with the community in the government, no? So that's very important. No? So imagine if early stage government announcing the lockdown entire the Luzon. I think that's early stage, but you cannot blame each other. But if you have the resources that time, you have mass testing, that should become like Singapore or Hong Kong or China because they have mass testing. That's very important. But resources is another issue, right?
Yeah.
So you spend this huge money. It's not small money. Imagine it's testing. It costs you a lot of swab testing, these kits, everything, PP and everything. It's not cheap anymore to prevent this pandemic. But end of the day, I think all of us can surpass this one. We need to just be conscious and be responsible. Very important. Very important. Be responsible, not irresponsible. Because once you're irresponsible, you will spread everything to others, and that's big caution ng everything. I think we will surpass all of us on this. Hopefully by my looking without new development by 2021, this year, third and fourth quarter, I think it's pretty sure this should be subside already. With the medicine come out. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your important time, Sir Dennis Anthony Uy. Salamat po kaya kayo.
Thank you po. Thank you. Anytime. Basta mouse kayo mo po.
Like and follow our official Facebook page at CLTV36 Official and Business Unusual with Sonia P. Soto. I am also inviting everyone to subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLTV36 Official for more business unusual content.